after watching this video is to determine what the greatest common factor of two or more numbers is. So first, let's just review what a factor is. Remember that a factor is a number that you can multiply to get another number. So if we would use 10 as our target number, factors of 10 are numbers that I can multiply to get 10. All right, I can multiply 2 to get 10. I can multiply 5 to get 10. All right, I can take 2 times 5, they're a factor pair. But each of these separately is a factor of 10, a number I can multiply to get 10. All right, now we're going to take factors a step farther. When you share qualities with someone, okay, so when something about you is the same as something about someone else, all right, that means you have things in common. So things that you have in common are things that you both have. Factors that are shared by two or more numbers are called common factors, all right? So instead of comparing two people, we're comparing two numbers and saying, hey, they have something in common, they have a factor in common. We want to look for factors of numbers that are common to both so that they share. And out of all of them that they share, because some numbers might share one or might share more than one common factor, we want to find out of those common factors that both numbers have, which one is the greatest. So the first way we're going to look at finding greatest common factor is by making a list of the factors. So if we need to find the greatest common factor of 24 and 40, let's just make a list of factors. Okay, so we're going to start by finding the factors of each of those numbers. 24, I can take 1 times 24. Those are both factors of 24. I can take 2 times 12. Those are factors of 24, 2 and 12. All right, I can take 3 times 8 to get 24. So 3 and 8 are both factors. I can take 4 times 6. So 4 and 6 are both factors. Let's just check. There's only one number between those that I haven't tried, which is 5. Is 5 a factor of 24? Can it be multiplied by something to get 24? It cannot. So 5 is not a factor. All right? So up here I see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 factors of 24, 8 numbers that can be multiplied to get 24. All right, let's do a list for 40. I can take 1 times 40. I could take 2 times 20. Those are both factors. I could take 3, nope, can't multiply 3 by anything to get 40, so 3 is not a factor. But I could take 4 times 10 to get 40. How about 5? I can take 5 times 8 to get 40. All right, let's check. 6 and 7. Are those factors of 40? Can they be multiplied by something to get 40? They cannot. So 6 and 7 are not factors of 40. All right, so this first part is done. I have the factors of both numbers. The next part, let's find the ones that are common, that they both have. So both 24 and 40 have a factor of 1. 2 is a factor of both numbers. 4 is a factor of both numbers. And 8 is a factor of both numbers. Do you see any other ones that they have in common? I'm not seeing any. So now we took care of the common part. We have factors for each. We found the common ones. Now we just have to find the greatest. Okay? So out of the common ones, the greatest one that they share is 8. So the greatest common factor of 24 and 40 is just 8. All right? We could find greatest common factor another way. Sometimes when you make a factor list, like we did up here, it's easy to forget a factor pair, all right? And then your whole system is kind of messed up. You may not get the right answer. So it's easy to forget a factor pair when you make a list. If you don't like that approach, you can find the prime factorization of 24 and 40 by making a factor tree. And this way you only have to think of one factor pair that equals 24. So we could do 2 times 12, we could do 3 times 8, we could do 4 times 6. All right, let's do 2 times 12. It's early in the morning, so multiplying by 2 is easier for me. All right, so 2 is prime. 12 is composite. I can break that down. So factors of 12, I could do 2 times 6 or 3 times 4. Either way will get you to the right answer. All right, 6 is composite. I can break it down even further into 2 times 3, which are both prime. So my prime factorization of 24 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 3. Okay? Then let's go over to 40. break that down into, I don't know, 4 times 10. You could have done another pair of factors. You could have done 2 times 20, 5 times 8. 4 is composite. I can break it down into 2 times 2. 10 is also composite. I can break it down into 2 times 5. All right, so now let me check these. All right, 2 is prime, 2 is prime, 2 is prime, and 5 is prime. All right, so my prime factorization of 40 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 5. Now, to find the greatest common factor, you take the prime factorizations of these numbers. So these prime factorizations, you look at those and you find out what they have in common. So the prime factorization of 24 has a 2, and the prime factorization of 40 has a 2. Here's a second 2 in both of them. Here's a third 2 in both of them. Okay? They don't both have 3s, they don't both have 5s, so that's it. Then you take their common prime factors and you multiply them out. So 2 times 2 times 2 equals, oh, there it is. All right, we got the same greatest common factor as when we made lists the first time, but it's a different strategy to find the answer. Okay, find the greatest common factor of 12 and 56. So in this case, we can make a list. Say 12, 56. To make a list, you have to really know your math facts, all right? So I know to get 12, I can take 1 times 12. I can take 2 times 6, or I can take 3 times 4. And there are no numbers between here, so I know I'm not missing any factors. Let's do commas so that doesn't look like 4,612. There we go. All right, 56, 1 times 56. 2, see now, oh boy, I really have to think here, all right? If I wanted to take 2 times something to get 56, I would do 2 times, anybody? Going once? Going twice? 28. All right, how about 3? Does 3 go into 56? It does not. How about 4? Does 4 go into 56? 4 goes into 56 14 times. All right. 5 does not. How about 6? 6 does not. How about 7? 7 times 8 is 56. So there I really had to think. I really had to think about my multiplication facts and which would work. So right now I have all the factors. Now I'm going to look for the common factors in my list. We've got 1, we've got 2 in both lists, we've got 4. Do I have any other ones? I'm not seeing any others. So we've got our factors, we found the common ones. Now of those common ones, which one's the greatest? That would be 4. So our greatest common factor of 12 and 56 is 4. If you're like me and thinking of all the factors of 56 was hard to do, let's do prime factorization of 12 and 56. 12, 56. All right, so let's go 3 times 4. 3 is prime. You can pause and rewind if I'm going too fast. Break this down into 2 times 2. My prime factorization of 12 is 2 times 2 times 3. All right, 56. Let's go with 7 times 8. Because that's one of the math facts I memorized that comes to my head right away. 7 is prime. 8 can be broken down to 2 times 4. 2 is prime. 4 is composite. So I'll break that down into 2 times 2. Giving me a prime factorization of 2 times 2 times 2 times 7. Okay, so now what do these prime factorizations have in common? They both have a 2. They both have a second 2. Oh, here's another 2 over here, but this one does not have another 2. There's only a 3 in one of them, there's only a 7 in one of them, so I'm left with 2 times 2, which, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, same answers we got above. 4. Okay. I'm running out of time. We'll do these ones in class tomorrow as an example, but same way, you can do a list for each of the 3 numbers, find the common ones, find the greatest. Or you can make a factor tree for each of those. Your job to submit on that photo is to find the greatest common factor of these two numbers using whatever method you like. So type your answer on Edmodo and submit it.